In the Upanishad, say Manduk Upanishad or Katha Upanishad or Mandukya Upanishad or Ishavasya Upanishad or Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in all Upanishad, not even a single verse is there. Why? Because Upanishad is talking about the existence directly and is talking about the disciple and is explaining what your mind is, what your consciousness is, what this Jagrat Swapna Sushupti is, what is the Jiva, the individual soul, and who is Astitva, meaning who is Parabrahma, what is Atma. So Upanishad is just talking all fundamental minus all nonsense. There is no nonsense over there. In Purana you have history. In Purana you have astrology. In Purana you have poetry. In Puranas you have prose. In Purana you have a storytelling rishi. But in Upanishad you will not have all this. Straight hitting the bullseye. And I am a no-nonsense person. That's why I always have been an ardent student of Upanishad and not Puranas. Although Puranas have its own glory and its own beauty and the importance is definitely there, but for self-realization, meaning for you, it is not important to know too much what Krishna did or what were names of his wives or how many children he had or how many brothers he had or where he played or where he went to school. What is important is what Krishna spoke to Arjuna. That wisdom is important. But in name of Krishna Bhakti, what is popularized? The form of Krishna, the name of the Krishna, and the stories about his life, but they are not ready to talk about the wisdom. So they have chosen just one part. And I know of many Vedantists who have evaded to talk about Krishna's form and life and events. And I say we should give due respect to the form, to the events, but we should give equal importance to what he said and all the wisdom which he has given us. So some of my Vedantist Swami friends, they wonder, how come you can sing all these bhajans of Krishna love like a forlorn lady, like a gopi? How can you sing those bhajans where the person is crying and wailing and waiting for Sri Krishna to appear? And on the other hand, you are so talking about what Atma is and what Parabrahm is. I said, well, you are taking side and I am not taking any side. I am adopting the wholesome Krishna, not a part of Krishna. See, Surdas loved Krishna, but only his baby form, not the adult Krishna. The adult Krishna is going to be very naughty. So he said no. Meera chose the adult Krishna, not the Bal Krishna, not the child Krishna. So Meera's all poetry is not about singing lullabies to baby Krishna. She is talking to Krishna who is her beloved, her husband, her darling, her heart and soul. Tulsidas chose Ram in a Balavatar, hence the beautiful couplets which he wrote. Thumaka chalata Ramachandra. Meera will never sing that. About Krishna when he is baby, the Thumaka chalata Krishna Chandra. She will never write that. So the different bhaktas chose different age, different forms and different events of their lives. And then there are some people, the Gyani, the Vedantist, they just take the Vedanta part of Sri Krishna but leave his beautiful smiles, his beautiful dances, his love. his affections, his relationships which he had with his two mothers, two fathers, one who adopted and gave the initial love, and the one who was considered to be the fathers. So Devaki is there, Yashoda is there, Nand Baba is there. So how he related with them, how he loved his brother, how he loved his brother Dau, how he loved his friends, how he loved all those gopi. So why should you skip that part? But now all these very beautiful and very enchanting things are not about Parabrahma. It's not about Parabrahma. So that who is beyond the name and form is non-changeable, and that which has name and form is changeable. Now that which is changeable cannot give you that happiness which will not change. Our problem is we want a happiness which is permanent, but we are seeking it from those who are impermanent. See this flower, it's a beautiful flower. But its beauty is time limited. By evening it will be wilted. In the next 2 days gone, and you wouldn't like to keep it in your glass vase. You'll pick it up and just throw it. So if somebody is seeking happiness from these flowers, this happiness will be very limited. Because the flower is limited. The name and form of this flower comes with many conditions. Hence it cannot give us unconditional happiness. Parabrahm doesn't have a name and form. Even the word Parabrahm is not actually doing any justice. But for sake of explaining that who is beyond, I need to pick some word. नहीं तो क्या बोले उसको? अनामी को नाम नहीं देंगे तो हम उसकी बात कैसे करेंगे? कुछ तो नाम देना पड़ेगा. कुछ तो कहना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो बात कैसे करें? तो जो बदल जाए वो परब्रह्म नहीं, जो कभी न बदले वही परब्रह्म है. तब आप अपनी अकल इस्तेमाल किया करो. जब भी जहां भी जो भी देखो, जब भी जहां भी जिसको मिलो, चेक कर लेना ये हमेशा रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा. नहीं हमेशा रहेगा तो ऐसे को दिल मत दे के बैठ जाना. रोना पड़ेगा. See, what happens is either your loved one dies or your loved one gets separated. And in both conditions, your heart will be filled with sadness. Either they'll die or they'll get separated. Like your mom is living in Punjab, you are working in Canada. Your father is living in, say, Mumbai, and you are working in Australia. Yes, father is very happy, my son is making so much money, but here your father is sick or something, son cannot do anything. Other than talking on some video phone or sending some money, can't do anything. And I know of so many people who died and they had to keep the body for 3 days, they're waiting for the son to come to do that ceremony of giving fire to the funeral. And it was Christmas time, so no tickets were available. India, they don't have very good mortuaries. So they had to keep dead body at home. Finally, on the 4th day, one of cousin's son gave the fire And they had to do the ceremony because they couldn't keep the body. It was getting messed up. The body will bloat actually. And a point can come that the stomach might just burst open. The perforation might happen. Or from the eyes and nose and ear and mouth, the body fluids will begin to ooze out. And that's a very smelly affair. It is not a good scene. The moment prana leaves the body, the deterioration gets speeded up. Yavat vasati. When as long as the vayu is there in the body is very nice, very beautiful, warm. The moment it is gone, the body is cold. It's cold and it gets stiffened up and it gets smelly and then it bloats up. So by the time the sun came, what he found was just ashes in the cremation ground. Now that is a fact. It is not about to make you pensive. It is just that we see the things, we accept the things, and we learn out of it. So anything which has name and form is changeable, and that which doesn't has a name and form is a non-changeable, and this is what a Parabrahma is. So actually all the forms which are being called God forms are not God forms. But because Parabrahma is omniscient, hence every form is form of Parabrahma. What a smart idea, see? परब्रह्म का कोई शरीर नहीं है, परब्रह्म शरीर नहीं है, वो अशरीरी है। इसलिए परमात्मा को दिखाने वाली कोई शक्ल, कोई फोटो, कोई मूर्ति हो ही नहीं सकती। पर चूंकि वो व्यापक है, इसलिए हर मूर्ति उसकी है, हर नाम उसका है, हर शक्ल उसकी है, हर आकार उसका है, हर शरीर उसका है। जिसे आप कहते हो ना मेरा शरीर, ये भी तुम्हारा नहीं है, क्योंकि तुम कुछ भी नहीं हो। बुलबुला है, हवा से फूला हुआ है तो पानी ही। बुलबुले की क्या औकात? A bubble has no value. The bubble, whether small or big, is actually just water only. But all the billions of bubbles which you see on the surface of water are meaningless because it is just a game of water. Bubbles don't have their own independent existence. This mind-body frame, which now you say I is just a bubble. Yes. Bubble has no independent existence. What exists is just water. But when you don't see the water, and then you begin to label the bubbles, this is good, this is bad, this is nice, this is small, this is large, this is looking good, this is not looking good. And say if the bubbles begin to think and they get egoistic, oh see how big I am. And you are what? Petty, small, bubbly? And see, I am so big. And then a huge wave came rushing and she said, shut up, see me. Who are you? So bubbly is gone and the bubble is gone and the wave takes over. But the wave is water, a bubble is water, and that bubbly is also water. The name and the form are different and it separates them from one another. But if we look at the water, there is no name, there is no form. So what will join us? What will bind us? When we understand the existence, it binds us. When we don't see the existence and are stuck up on the name and form, this separates us. And then all the complexities come along. And all the fightings, writings, killings, murders, accusations, politics, dirty things, everything begins to happen.